Yo, what's good? It's your boy A Trip, the Energy Dilla, aka Renetta's son. Look, I just wanted to jump on real quick and just kind of have a conversation. Hopefully, one that's good for hip hop. Before I get started, where the fuck are my manners? Welcome to the table. It's good to have you back. I never leave this motherfucker, so I'm just glad that y'all tuned back in with me, right? Make sure I don't get lonely or nothing. So the reason why I wanted to jump on is to have a conversation for hip hop, right? I want to start this off by saying, shout out to those boys out there in Missoula, those boys and girls out there doing their thing. Last of the nobodies, everybody involved in that project to help make it, to get it to where it's at. Shout out to y'all. That shit looks beautiful. It does. And it's important that in hip hop we show positivity for positive things being done. You feel me? Whether we're a part of them or not. It's important because that's how the outside world operates. You feel me? So we can't just be here within our culture and not have just like the basic generosities and just politeness that I guess quote unquote normal people do. You know, as artists, we're different. We're different creatures, right? We're different beings. So I want to shout out those guys because what they're doing is very important. It's very important for hip hop. It's very important for growth, right? So there are lots of young hip hop artists that are coming on the scenes daily, right? You could even say it's one of the genres that is growing rapidly, probably the fastest, you know? And it's important to show these young artists that how to take hip hop seriously. You feel me? Because yes, it's directly centered around our own individuality, and there aren't any rules per se, right? But there's a certain like standard that in respect, almost like a gratitude for the art in itself, um, that you want to teach people to have, right? So when you kind of built these structures, you show these rappers or these young artists, you show them that this is a structure. This is for real. You feel me? Like this is for real. Just like when you go up the street to the local business and you kind of support them. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to buy some food up the street from your favorite restaurant, um, as real as that food tastes, there's a structure behind it that had to be upheld so that they could get that quality. You know what I'm saying? So they could kind of build that customer base of people that love their food, right? So you need that structure, and that's why it's important to have it, and it's important to see it through because it shows those artists how to do it with their own individual careers, right? Because you got to keep in mind, I believe it was 23 different artists and producers involved, right? And that's a lot of different individual aspirations and careers and different goals and missions, right? So when you're able to kind of get them all together and show them how to complete something, that's good for hip hop. That kind of helps the outside world look at us a little differently, and it helps them to see that we're for real too. You know, that we have a hierarchy, a structure. It's not just mayhem here, even though that's what it may seem like sometimes, or even though sometimes that's the energy that we put in our music. Which all energy is there for a purpose, for a reason. So we're not gonna outcast any of it. We just reposition it and repurpose it and use it in the ways that make the best sense, right? So shout out to all those guys, man. That's incredible. Seen it make the news, and it's something that it's going to be a good look because people are going to look at that and they're going to say, okay, let's see what they're doing over here in Montana, right? And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that. That's dope. I know a few people individually involved with the project too, so like I'm proud of them. Like I'm working with a few of them also, and so the support that I have for hip hop and just personally for these individuals, um, that's something that I want to make known. You feel me? And I kind of, I don't want to say I felt like I had to hop on and have this conversation, but I wanted to because of some of the things I was seeing kind of pop up and hearing. I was also DM'd quite a few, many times, we'll say, by a lot of the close friends and just fans that um, after I shared the project because I want to support. Um, and if I confuse anyone, making them think that I was a part of it or anything like that, I'm not a part of this. But this is something that I just support because I am a part of hip hop here in Montana, right? Now, with all this being said, I think there's some hate that's kind of on the surface, or there's some things that's being addressed as hate, and I kind of just want to talk about those just a little bit because I think some context can come into play, right? Now, as the trailer shows, it's 23 different artists and producers. Um, Montana Montana's hip hop community is huge. It's bigger than most may realize. I didn't really realize it until I got here about a little over 8 years ago, right? And I quickly started to see that they were doing stuff out there, whether you thought it was there or not. Like it's there. And here in Bozeman, like I've definitely um, built kind of like relationships, acquaintances with some of the more of the long timers out here that have kind of been pushing and doing things for a while when hip hop definitely was even frowned more upon, right? So with that being said, I can see how some artists can feel frustrated with the way some things were phrased, you know. Um, that could have possibly been phrased better. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a little tasteless, or just not as tasteful, we'll say, right? Um, like we know that that's not all the talent in Montana, right? Um, we know that. Um, there's so much more, and I think the viewers that are outside of Montana that kind of get a grip of this, they're gonna find that out. They're gonna find out that like this is like that's um, almost like the surface, right? You crack that open, and then you got this whole like pot of gold of artists that are just out here doing things in different varieties and different things. Even if it's not like your cup of tea, if someone's putting passion, drive, uh, work ethic into achieving their dream, how can you not respect that? That's where I stand, right? So when I see people doing these things, like I respect that just because they're helping us to further the narrative with hip hop, to kind of spread it, to get it in more ears, to get it in more places. So you gotta love that, right? Um, but to the artists that maybe are a little frustrated because of the way how some things are phrased, I encourage you to remember that this is hip hop. You feel me? Remember where it started. Like we're talking a competitive incubation, if you will, on the corners of streets, battling to see who's the dopest, see who stops, see who got more raps, right? I always keep that in mind with anything I'm doing, and that's kind of why I do certain things that I do is because I really love that aspect of hip hop, the authenticity, like the roots where it came from. You feel me? And when keeping that in mind, realize that people can say whatever they want to say, man. Like like a lot of these cats are saying they're the best in their music. I say it in my music. It's hip hop. I encourage it. I encourage competition. I encourage it. It's it's healthy. It's engaging. It's fun, man. Let's be honest. And so, like, if you were offended maybe by some of the wording, if you were offended by um, this 23 group, this group of 23 putting Montana on the map for the first time ever, and you've been out here doing it for 15 years, 20 years plus, uh, I'd say don't get so much as offended at that. Get motivated by it, right? Remember, this is hip hop. What you doing, right? Um, show the people, remind them, show them where you at. Because if anything, this is the point to do the most. Having these eyes on us, right? So I encourage the frustrated artists to kind of take that route with it. Get out there and be active. And I see a lot of you guys very active. Um, I don't get on social media much personally. It's well, at all really. It's almost always business driven. Um, as to not get distracted and keep things intact, I'm a very focused person, and it's because I have to be. If I'm not very focused, then I'm not focused at all. Um, so I can appreciate the work ethic of these guys, man. Um, get out there and show your work ethic too. That's what I would encourage. And if you've been working, that's great, and I know a lot of them have. Uh, let's start getting seen. Maybe take some tips from what you've seen there, because like the production looks good. It looks like they got things very tight over there, and they got a group of people that believe so much that they're all focused enough to do that. And I don't want to underestimate the talent that Focus is. In order to accomplish what these guys pulled off, it takes focus, it takes passion, it takes drive, it takes uh, stability, it takes consistency. You know what I'm saying? It's tough. They expressed it in the trailer. It's like we've all been to that point where you're just like, man, you feel like you're at the ceiling and you're trying to break through. That's a personal opinion, man. We all feel like that. It's okay for us to feel like that. So I encourage everybody to start trying to break through, just like them guys and girls are doing out there, man. It's amazing, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. Uh, One last note I'll say. I think in the culture we have to realize that several things can coexist. You feel me? Um, if you use the analogy, and forgive me if I'm ranting, y'all, I'm not coming on here with notes and stuff. I'm just coming up with just emotion and just kind of how I feel from what I've seen, right, and what I've in the messages that I've gotten in the DMs. Um, if you look at the analogy of a rec center, right, it's for community. Um, there are going to be times in your life, I know there are mine, 100%, as to where that's the only way how I survive, man. If there wasn't a rec center up the street, I don't know how me, my brother, my sister, my cousins, like I don't know how we would have survived. It kept us busy, it kept us occupied, it helped us to have fun while also building certain skills. It was dope, right? Now, that's the purpose. Certain platforms or um, how should I say it? Certain ideas, structures, they're meant to incubate in different ways. So a rec center is there to incubate in the form of community, right? To help people grow from that. Some artists, a lot of them, need that to continue to go forward. Then you look at something like maybe a dojo or gym, right? A lot of the same rules apply. There's community there also. The intent and the focus is a little different. Maybe you go there when you want to specifically hone something or specifically build a muscle, and you want to work more because there's people that go to gyms and dojos and it's in solitude that they want to kind of grow and build from. That incubates in its own way also, and there are artists that need that as well. Now, just because they both exist, is that a problem? I've hit the gym and the rec center. You feel me? Same day type shit. Not a problem. Different different focuses, man. And we're all trying to achieve the same outcome or the same dream, and that's just to do what we love day in, day out with our fans, supporters, family, and all those that did it with us at the start. That's all we want, man. So I encourage my fellow artists, have open minds, and to support the things that you genuinely like and love. Never hold back that. I can kind of extend this out to those guys and girls out there in Missoula as well. Some may have added emotion to those feelings of frustration because maybe not feeling support from that side, and or maybe not being reached out by that side. So we definitely gotta, if we want to grow locally with anything or use anything to build locally, we definitely should try to at least include all of those that are professionally doing it. And that's just because it makes sense, right? What's better than 23 geniuses? 24, 25, 26, 27, 30, 40, 50. I mean, I know personally, 5, 6, 7 artists that are, that aren't involved with it, that are incredible. I'd have to include myself in that. This doesn't take away from us, guys, because we're not a part of that. This should be motivation. Support the ones that are involved in it that you fuck with. Do that at least. If you can't support it in the whole, support the ones that you fuck with. You know what I'm saying? You can't listen to that whole group and say there ain't nobody in there that you think is an inspiration or a fire. You feel me? You can't do that. You can't do that. So don't write it off. Get motivated. Get out there. Do something. And let's make sure the world sees all of Montana. I'm out. I'm home, baby. Look, it's crazy to say I ain't killing this shit. Since I came in the game, I leveled up quick. Ain't got much fame in my name, but they know it exists. I don't need to be a star, I need the bread that they get. I don't need the hi-hat, let's just with snare and the kick. Damn the spit, and he gon' make you shit on your kicks. Came to run it like it's nothing, it's an errand, it's quick. The way I'm coming, it's 100, like the dash in my whip. Blasting my shit, I hope you hear it passing in bits. We got goals, can't fold off the passion and grit. This ain't acting, this ain't roles, this is actually it. We just living highs and lows, trying to master the dip. Cause when you up, then what's down can come faster than shit. You think you tough till you test it and ain't passing the quiz. This ain't love, this is blessings, get them after the dig. Silver lining lead to gold on my alchemist fix. Let's go.
Now I'm just trying to make it home.